Good morning, television family. Thanks for starting your day with us this Wednesday, the 11th day of June, 2025. I'm Dan Kuntz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It is another mild morning. It is 70 degrees. You can see the high clouds behind me from our Wenatchee Heights camera. They'll be leaving as the morning progresses. We'll see sunshine. It's going to be another warm day. Tied a record high yesterday, 96 degrees. Afraid to set a new record. So we've had back-to-back days of record high temperatures, either getting to a record high temperature or actually surpassing it. But the big ridge of high pressure, which was a dome, is now flattened out. That's why the high clouds are coming in over the top of it. We're going to see a little marine push coming in, but unfortunately, for the third straight day, the recipe is there. So we have a red flag warning again. We had one on Monday, we had one yesterday, we have one today. Starts at 2 o'clock, goes until 8 o'clock tonight because, well, it's going to be hot, it's going to be dry, and it's going to be windy. A little fire in Leavenworth, right at the pretty close to the mouth of the Tumwater. They took care of that real quick, and they'll have to do that again today if something breaks out. Weather forecast is coming up, but we're finally going to get a relief from the heat really tomorrow. Tomorrow is when it really starts to cool down to more comfortable and seasonal temperatures. All those details are coming up. The latest developments in the search for Travis Decker, we'll have that in news. There is some things going on there, as you might imagine. Sports, the Mariners are back to 500. It was the middle of April. The last time they were at 500, they were at 10-10 at that point. Now they're 33-33. They lost again to the Diamondbacks. We'll have highlights of that. But a good night for the Apple Sox. Scored 4 runs, held on for a 4-3 victory over Kamloops. We'll have that. And highlights will be at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium tonight, by the way, to televise Game 2 of that series. And in the back half of the program, our good buddy Jamie Howell from Howl at the Moon Productions. And they are bringing it back. The Leavenworth Bike Fest is this weekend. They haven't had it since 2019. It was canceled because of COVID in 2020, and then it kind of just went by the wayside, but they're bringing it back in a big way. Jamie and his buddy Ace Bollinger, they don't do things half-heartedly. They're all in. And Jamie will be joining me, but if you don't have any plans, you want to be in Leavenworth this weekend because it sounds like a lot of fun. Jamie Howell will join me in the back half of the program. Tour time. Here we go. Let's take a look at our cameras, perhaps the highlights of the show. As you can see, there is quite a bit of cloud cover right now. The wind isn't too bad. It's out of the north-northwest at 10 miles an hour. We're going to show you a slide here in just a little bit to show you where exactly the winds are going to be picking up at. It's going to be a little breezy this morning, then it'll calm down in the early afternoons. It's going to pick back up again as a weak marine layer finally begins to make inroads over this ridge of high pressure. But the clouds you see there are going to be thinning out as the day progresses. We did have a few clouds that came in mid-morning yesterday, and they were gone by early afternoon. Camera number 2. Back at, well, there's the Tumwater Canyon camera, I believe. We used that yesterday to get whatever kind of footage we could from that small fire that broke out. It's in the mop-up stage now. No injuries, no damages to any structures that we know of. But good morning to Leavenworth from our Tumwater Canyon camera. That's not actually in the canyon. That would be silly. You wouldn't be able to see anything at all. Good morning to Leavenworth. You definitely want to enjoy the conversation I had with Jamie Howell in the back half of the program. It was a good time. Camera number 3. We're off to see Lake Chelan. I'm pretty sure that's our Bear Mountain camera. It looks like it's moving just a little bit. Wapato Point is sticking out there a little bit. The lake is full for the most part. Maybe it'll go up another, I don't know, half a foot or so between now and the end of the year. But for the most part, the bathtub has been filled up. You can see Roses Lake and Wapato Lake in the far right-hand corner of your screen. And it looks like it's a tad breezy up there. Let me look real quick. In Manson, it says in Manson there's no wind at all. But of course, that is on an exposed ridge, so you have wind there. In camera number 4. Billy Goat checks in. Again, a few high clouds up there. Omak, you are at 66 degrees. We're at 70. It's another warm start to the day, and it's going to be another warm day, but we're going to be done with the 90s after we get through with the day today. 96 was our high yesterday. That tied the record high. Afraid to set a new record. Sunrise this morning was at 5:04. Sunset tonight, 8:58. 15 hours and 54 minutes. If you keep track of these things, today is going to be 47 seconds longer than Tuesday. Tomorrow, the sunrise will be at 5:03, but it won't get any earlier than 5:03. The sunset will eventually get to a little bit past 9 o'clock as we are into the very longest days of the year and will be for about the next 3.5 weeks or so. This slide may look familiar to the one we showed you yesterday, but it isn't. This is yesterday's high temperatures. Again, we tied a record high. It says 97. We actually only got to 96 in Wenatchee, but it's still tied a record high for June 10th. Ephrata did set a new record. They hit to 98. Moses Lake got to 97. Chelan 91. Leavenworth was considerably cooler. Leavenworth was in the triple digits on Monday. It was only 86 in Leavenworth yesterday. But anything that's in red either tied or set a new record, and those in orange got pretty close. It was another warm day. Let's talk wind today, because we do have the red flag warning that begins at 2 o'clock, goes until 8 o'clock. Take a look at where you live. This is your wind timeline hour by hour. As you can see, it starts out pretty calm, picks up in intensity in the mid-morning to late morning hours, and it calms back down again. And then late this afternoon into the evening hours, the winds will pick up. It's going to be rather windy tonight at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium for the baseball game. Just a heads up on that. So considerable wind tonight as this marine push finally really begins to make its way felt. And this is the end of that ridge of high pressure. As it flattens out, it's beginning to move. It's already in the process of moving off to the east. The center of it is now actually over far western Montana, but we're still under the influence of that high pressure, which will be gone by this time tomorrow. So from the National Weather Service, here's your forecast. Cloudy in the morning hours, sunshine in the afternoon. We'll top off to about 92. Not a record high, but still in the 90s. Breezy this morning, windy this afternoon, very windy tonight. Gusts above 30 is a distinct possibility as this system exits. We'll get down to about 62. Quite a bit of sunshine Thursday, still some residual wind, but not hot enough for a red flag warning. And you can see it's going to be a lot cooler. There's that marine air we're talking about. We'll only top off at 83. Our normal high this time of the year is 78. That's about where we're going to be Friday, Saturday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday look fantastic. It's going to be sunny and warm, but not hot, and just a nice light breeze. No wind at all, and it looks like we'll be hovering in that nice, right in that beautiful ballpark area. A very pleasant weather right into the weekend and into the early part of next week. So today is going to be the last day of the hot spell we've had before we cool down to more seasonable temperatures. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we have a lot of news to get to, and we will do exactly that in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories. And we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Call Alpine Air Heating and Cooling today. Your comfort is their priority.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Tour Moses Lake just a gas tank away. With its abundance of outdoor activities, Moses Lake is a great place to visit. From fishing and boating to exploring the city's attractions, there is no shortage of things to do. Whether you're enjoying any one of the variety of restaurants with the family or an adventure-filled day with friends, Moses Lake has something for everyone. Tour moseslake.com and start your adventure today.
Craving fresh Asian comfort food? Steam Panda is Wenatchee's popular family-friendly Asian restaurant. They focus on providing guests with delicious, healthy, fresh, and natural dishes for an affordable price. It's time to enjoy one of their many popular house-made soup dumplings, ramen noodles, or pho dishes. And make sure to ask about their lunch and chef specials on sushi rolls. Steam Panda's Hawaiian poke bowl and salads are excellent with your favorite boba tea. Stop by or order online at Steam Panda today.
Fair and cloudy, 70 degrees. The clouds will be departing. It'll be windy. It'll be warm again today. Red flag warning from 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Windy tonight. We calm down with some very pleasant weather once we get to, say, Friday. It's 10 minutes after the hour. Police investigators say a lone hiker in the Kolchak Lake area who avoided contact with others and then hid from a police helicopter. That was the incident that precipitated the day-long hunt in the Ingalls Creek area for Travis Decker, who's been wanted, of course, since June 2nd for triple child murder. Chelan County Undersheriff Dan Osment said the initial tip came from a hiking party who allegedly saw an ill-prepared solo hiker in the enchantments who appeared to avoid others along the trail route. Osment, who disclosed the incident in a Tuesday press release, did not specify the time or the date of that tip. A helicopter team then saw a single off-trail hiker who ran from sight as the aircraft passed. Ground teams later found a trail and used dogs to track the person to the Ingalls Creek trailhead that's near Highway 97 in the Blewett Pass area, according to the press release. And that trail led teams to search for Decker in that area. They also alerted residents near the trailhead on Monday to secure their homes and remain watchful. The alert area includes Valley High, an unincorporated Blewett Pass community of some 200 households north of the trail access. That notification has not been lifted as of this morning. It's still going on. Our media partner, the Wenatchee World, reports that 2 weeks before he allegedly killed his 3 daughters, Travis Decker sought out veteran services in Grant County. Therapists with the Grant County Veterans Service Office in Moses Lake told the newspaper Decker visited their facility on May 16th, but the office allegedly didn't have enough therapeutic resources to help him at the time. Decker picked up his daughters for a scheduled visitation on Friday, May 30th. The girls, of course, never returned. Veterans advocates say it illustrates a growing crisis for those who served as they seek mental health treatment in Central Washington. Services, including Central Washington Veterans Council in Wenatchee, say they're at capacity and relying on emergency donations as contracts languish with the Department of Veterans Affairs. A Chumstick Valley man has won a new trial for his 2023 standoff with police. Abel Damon Wilkes is now 50 years old. He's currently serving a 45-month prison sentence for second-degree assault. The Washington Court of Appeals ruled yesterday that Chelan County prosecutors violated state evidence rules by suggesting Wilkes posed a danger to the community. Sheriff's deputies were called to Wilkes' trailer on Mary Canyon Road back in March of 2023 after he was accused of pointing a rifle at a neighbor. The incident dragged out for 20 hours after Wilkes refused to meet with police, and the East Cascade SWAT team was summoned. The appeals court ruled that Judge Robert Jordan improperly allowed testimony about the SWAT team, Wilkes' collection of firearms, and police use of an armored vehicle to destroy his trailer home during the standoff. Appellate Judge Robert Lawrence Berry wrote that Chelan County prosecutors sought to prove their case by portraying Wilkes as a dangerous person. County prosecutors have the option to ask the Washington Supreme Court to review the appellate decision. Douglas County has extended the application deadline for its open interim prosecuting attorney position. The role, of course, is currently held by Gordon Edgar, who was first elected to the position in 2018. He's going to retire on the last day of this month. Those interested in the job must be an attorney and a resident of Douglas County and will need to submit their application by June 26th, which is a 2-week extension of the original deadline, which was tomorrow. The prosecutor's political party would normally recommend candidates for the job, but Edgar ran as an independent in his last election, and that means the county can open up the process to anybody regardless of political affiliation. By statute, by the way, the prosecutor's post pays a little over $14,000 per month. The selected candidate will complete Edgar's remaining term, which ends on December 31st, 2026. If you want to apply, go to the Douglas County website. And NCW Libraries and the Chelan Douglas Land Trust are teaming up to promote creativity and getting outdoors. The organizations have collaborated to create a series of 3 events called Art on the Trails. That's where attendees create art projects at the shelters of various trailheads. NCWLIFE spoke with the Art on the Trails organizers ahead of their Story Stones program. It happened at the Castle Rock Trailhead last week.
Really, this kind of came about because I was inspired by Katie's programming of Art in the Park. I thought that was a really wonderful idea, just to bring people outside. I'm somebody that's really passionate about art and just bringing more people into the outdoors.
So Art on the Park's been going, I think, about 2 years now. So we just take supplies and a picnic blanket out front of the library and hang out in Memorial Park doing a different art project, which we did kind of as a way to allow teens to try different art styles without having to put in the big investment of, I bought all the supplies to do this thing, because that's expensive and hard for a lot of people to do. And so we really wanted to kind of get people outside because we have that gorgeous park right there. And then Isla came to us and was like, hey, we want to do more stuff with the library, and in particular, I love this event and would like to see it kind of expand. And so we brought this out. This is our second one in a series of 3 for this year.
A lot of the programming that we've provided in the past is kind of hike focused. And so I thought about, well, what are different ways to bring people outside without, you know, having a hike? Because hikes aren't really for everybody, or some people have that physical limitation that doesn't allow them to do the hike, but we can still gain the benefits of being outdoors and do something fun. At the start of the event, I usually try to share just a little bit of information about the property, and then I also have trail maps. So for people who may not be familiar with the trail or kind of what it looks like, I can let them know, and you know, they can be here and kind of decrease some of that discomfort into like getting to a new place and not really sure how to navigate it. That's kind of what our hope is in like bringing people out and familiarizing themselves with the outdoors and the resources we have here. The Story Stone focus is on creating a collaborative story based on what people design on their stone. And so it kind of inspired by, you know, libraries and creating stories and coming together as a community, but also being really creative with it and seeing what kind of like your imagination comes up with. So people will be able to paint whatever they like on the stone. And then as a group, we'll come up with a story that involves all of the little images that they have.
First one, we did watercolor postcards. So we were out at Saddle Rock. Kind of everybody had a postcard and some watercolors to just kind of paint whatever they felt like. But then they could keep it or send it to somebody else. And then our next one is going to be book page flowers in September at Kenzie's Landing. And so we'll kind of use old book pages from books that were damaged or advanced reader copies that we can't use or sell or give away for art projects. And so we'll turn them into flowers and give everyone some fun decor to kind of decorate their home in the fall. Our mission is to connect people with resources in our region. And so, you know, really saying, here's a trail that anyone can access, and what does that look like to go out there? I know later this summer, we have another partnership with the Wenatchee River Institute, and they're going to kind of come and talk about, like, how do families get out on the trail? Like, what do you need? What's the bare minimum? How can you do it? And so things like that, where we're finding these partnerships of, like, let's talk about, you know, it's not accessible for everyone to just get outside without knowing what they're getting themselves into. And so finding partners like Isla who can kind of help to guide people in that direction. Like, I didn't know there were these shelters, but they're here at all the parks that we're going to. And so, you know, getting the word out about that and kind of connecting those communities, because I think a lot of times we have, like, you know, different pockets of people who know things, and then how do we bring them all together?
And now you're caught up with what the heck is going on around here, and we'll do that again tonight at 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock and 10 o'clock. It is not called What the Heck is Going On Around Here. It's called the NCWLIFE Evening News, the latest in the Wenatchee Valley in north central Washington. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on television. If you don't do television the way we did growing up, if you consume your television via your smart device or the internet, we got you there. Our news will be up and running right around 5 o'clock on our homepage, NCWLIFE.com. We'll put a link in our Facebook page. It'll be in our YouTube page. And if you're out and about and you see something that might be newsworthy, you send us an email. Love to hear from you. news@NCWLIFE.com. The Mariners are struggling. Apple Sox are not. Sports is next. You're watching a Wednesday edition of Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
The Surf and Slide Water Park is open from Memorial Day through Labor Day. Surf and Slide is located in the heart of Central Washington in Moses Lake with activities for all ages and abilities. Check out Surf and Slide's Flow Rider Surfing Simulator, Lazy River, 2 200-foot water slides, tube slides, and diving boards. Our children's area includes a Treasure Island water structure, splash pad, and baby octopus slide. For season passes, visit us online or find Surf and Slide on Facebook.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Welcome to the Gilded Lily home, where something extraordinary is waiting for you. The Gilded Lily offers a unique collection of hand-selected, carefully curated items to help you celebrate all of life's special moments. From the budding chef to the home decorator to that very special occasion, there is an abundance of delightful gifts waiting for you. The Gilded Lily home, where you can step in for inspiration and leave with beautiful items to brighten any area of your home.
Caught in a conflict? Family? Workplace? Neighbor? Business? Housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
21 minutes after the hour in sports, both the Mariners and the Diamondbacks wrapped up 12 hits each. The problem is Arizona turned their 12 hits into 10 runs. And the Mariners lost again. The final was 10-3. Gabriel Moreno hit a 3-run homer. Corbin Carroll had a couple of triples for Arizona. It was a tight game, and then, well, it turned into a rout. Arizona scored 5 runs in the 6th inning off Trent Thornton.
Here is Josh Naylor. He had the walk-off grand slam for the Diamondbacks last night. He shoots this on a line into left field. Rosarena fields it. Here comes his throw home. Play at the plate, and he is out. Rosarena with a one-hop peg to Cal Raleigh. And that's how the first inning comes to a close.
They call it a do-or-die. Off to the side, he fields it on the run, doesn't take any extra steps, and throws a strike to Cal at home.
Well, he's up against one of the toughest lefties there is, Cal Raleigh, who punches it deep the other way. Lourdes all the way to the wall. Gurriel has got it. What a catch, Lourdes. Gurriel. He just robbed the big dumper.
I mentioned last night, Raleigh has pulled 16 of his 18 homers from the left side. He's pulled them to right field, tried to go oppo this time, and Lourdes takes away a home run right there at the wall.
Down the line, and fair. It's headed for the corner. Alec Thomas coming into third. They're going to wave him home. Corbin Carroll, he's going the distance. He's going for speed. And he's got the RBI triple.
Crisp line drive into right field that time off the bat of Corbin Carroll. Big loopy curveball that ended up in that hot spot, down and in.
His 7th triple of the year. Nobody in the majors has more. Gurriel struck out in the second on a dicey call. Lourdes launches one, and there it goes. Goodbye, Gurriel. Number 10 for Lourdes, and it's 3-zip.
I thought that ball was going to go much deeper into the seats the way Rosarena reacted out there in left field. He never moved. That ball was only 1 row deep into the seats out there.
7th home run given up by Logan Evans in his 7th start. Some Pena power on that one. Gets into one and drives it to right center. Rodriguez after it. Canzone won't get there, and it's in the pool area. Mariners catch a break as Perdomo will have to stop at third, but Naylor's got an RBI double, and it's 4-0 Diamondbacks. That stays in the yard. It's easily another run.
Outer third of the plate and down in the zone. He still manages to get backspin and find that gap in right center.
High fly ball, and this is cranked all the way out, way back there. What a moonshot, Randy Rosarena. That is a sight for sore eyes. And the Mariners are on the board.
The bottom half for Randy Rosarena is what enables everything in his top half to work. This is impressive. He got that foot down and was straight on time for that fastball.
This is pitch number 8 to Rowdy Tellez. Deep fly ball. This is drilled way back to the pool, and it's up there above and a splashdown. Tellez, number 10, back-to-back jacks for the Mariners in the 6th inning, 440 feet later. All that loud contact now starting to generate some runs. First, Rosarena, then Tellez, and the Mariners within striking distance.
Gabby to left field. It's on its way, and it's gone. Well, the bullpen has been in tatters. The injuries have been piling up, but they have answered back with offense and defense tonight.
What a big loopy breaking ball that stayed up at the top of the zone, and Gabby just blasted it out of here to left field.
That's an answer back right there. They've scored in 4 consecutive innings. They now lead at 7-2. Moreno's 5th of the year, a 3-run homer. That's in the gap. It'll get Alec Thomas home. Run number 8. It gets all the way to the wall. Corbin Carroll going for his 2nd triple tonight. And he's in there. First 5 aboard. His 8th triple. That's the most in the majors.
How many guys can hit triples to the gap in left center field? Normally it's down the line or deep in the gap. That's where you get your triple, right there, home to first.
Exactly, and it has intentionally everything to the center. Everything to the center.
Line firmly into center field from Julio. Here comes Williamson on his way home. He scores standing. RBI base hit that was stung by Julio. 9-3 Diamondbacks.
And we've seen this more and more. We saw a line drive up the middle last night. Another line drive in his 2nd at bat.
Right to Marte. Perdomo for 1. And that'll do it. Diamondbacks have clinched a series win. They go for the 3-game sweep tomorrow. 10-3 your final. And a little bit of everything tonight. The new relievers worked out well. Brandon Falk gets the win. 3 Diamondback homers, and they played some spectacular defense.
Mariners have now lost 14 of their last 20. They are now back to the 500 mark for the first time since mid-April. Diamondbacks go for the sweep this afternoon. Brian Wu will take on Eduardo Rodriguez. First pitch is at 12:40. Lunch with the Mariners. To the scoreboard we go. Luckily, the Astros also lost. The White Sox took care of Houston 4-2, so Houston's lead over the Mariners remains 3 games. The Rangers are 4.5 back. They rolled over the Twins 16-4. The Angels are 4 games back of the Astros. It took them 10 innings, but they beat the Athletics 2-1. Closer to home, the Wenatchee Apple Sox rode a 4-run 3rd inning and a strong start from Blake Sandvik to a 4-3 victory over the Kamloops North Paws last night at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Sandvik tossed 6 innings of 1-run ball. He struck out 7. He allowed just 5 hits. He gets the win. He's 2-0 now on the year. Wenatchee did all of his scoring in the 3rd inning. Brady Bean delivered an RBI double, and then Kyle Pongo-Kebon laced a 2-run double of his own. That gave the Apple Sox a 4-1 lead, and they held on from there. The Sox are now 7-3 on the season, with Game 2 tonight at 6:35. Here is the WCL scoreboard. Right now, technically, Edmonton leads the WCL North by percentage points because they've played 2 less league games than Bellingham, who also won. They beat Bend. Nanaimo knocked off Victoria. It was Ridgefield over Yakima Valley. The new team, the Marion Berries, knocked off Cowlitz, and Portland remains undefeated. They are 10-0. The Pickles beat the Sweets 13-2. And we have Apple Sox baseball tonight. We'll be at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium, Game 2 of the North Paws and the Apple Sox. 6:30 airtime, 6:35 first pitch. The handsome and talented Eric Granstrom, and even more handsome and quite frankly more talented Brandon Schmitten with the call. If you can't make it to the ballpark, you can watch it right here on the NCWLIFE channel. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 29 minutes after the hour. Happy National Corn on the Cob Day. When I wore braces back as a teenager, I wore them for about a year and a half. When I got my braces off, the first thing Mom said, whatever you want to eat, the food that you couldn't eat when you have braces on, and I said corn on the cob, because when you wear braces, you can't eat corn on the cob. Oh, it was so good. Corn, of course, is grown on every continent except Antarctica. Not much grows it at all in Antarctica. Corn is the most popular field crop in the U.S. It's the most valuable in both production volume and overall value. If you're ever curious, a pound of corn has approximately 1,300 kernels. I did not know that. There are over 86,000 corn farms in Iowa alone. and 97% of those are family-owned farms. Only 1% of all the corn planted in this country is what you see on your screen, sweet corn, the kind that we eat. The other 99% is field corn. Field corn is for livestock feed and toothpaste, marshmallows, shampoo. There are about 4,000 items in a typical grocery store that has corn in some form. Anyway, by the way, and I never knew this until yesterday, corn on the cob is considered to be a vegetable. Corn kernels, without being on the cob, is considered to be a grain for whatever reason. Boy, that looks good, doesn't it? Corn on the cob, a little salt, you're good to go, baby. It's that time of the year. It'll be even more that time of the year when we get to July. It's almost 31 minutes after the hour. Today in history. There they are. The what do they call themselves? The Gang of Five, I think. Oh, the Committee of Five. There they are. The Continental Congress says, okay, we got to write all this down. We got to put all of our grievances against George III. Got to write it down, send it off to him. So the Continental Congress appoints Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Roger Sherman, and Robert Livingston to the Committee of Five. They say, you guys go off in the corner and write a Declaration of Independence. The five of them went off in the corner, and John and Benjamin and Roger and Robert said, Tom, you're the best writer. Why don't you go ahead and take a crack at it? We'll do a little editing, but they turned the whole thing over to TJ, but the Committee of Five, to draft the Declaration of Independence, formed on this date in 1776. Sir Barton wins the Belmont Stakes on this date in 1919, and by doing that, Sir Barton became the first horse to win the U.S. Triple Crown. There's been, what, 17, 18 of them? Since then, somebody had to be the first, and it was Sir Barton who did it on this date in 1919. What was bound to happen finally happened on June 10th, 1955, 70 years ago today, at the 24-hour of Le Mans. Now, we're going to show you the footage, and it might be a little disturbing to some folks. The circuit, the race course at Le Mans, had not been altered at all since the race began in 1923. In 1923, the fastest any car could go was about 60 miles an hour. This is 1955, and cars could go 165 miles an hour, and the spectators were basically right on top of the course, and then inevitably, it finally happened that 83 spectators were killed, most of them instantly. At least 100 were injured. And Austin Healey and a Mercedes-Benz collided at the turn. This is the deadliest accident ever in the history of motorsports. Again, they hadn't altered the track at all. Look at that. They hadn't altered the track at all since it was built in 1923. Now cars could go 165 miles an hour. The cars back in 1955 had no seatbelts. The drivers reasoned that it might be best to be thrown clear in a collision than crashed in a burning car. There, of course, what's next? Who's to blame? Somebody is to blame for this, and there was no real blame at all. So if there was blame at all, it was the track itself, because it had been designed. The track was not designed for cars to go that fast. That was at the 24-hour of Le Mans 70 years ago today. And if you see Frank Morris, John Anglin, and Clarence Anglin, congratulate them. They made it. I watched the movie Escape from Alcatraz, as a matter of fact, over the weekend. Pretty good movie. Not bad at all. June 11th, 1962, Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers, John and Clarence, get out of Alcatraz. Their fate remains unknown. The official account is that they drowned in San Francisco Bay, trying to swim to Angel Island, about 2 miles to the north of Alcatraz Island, but nobody really knows. According to the U.S. Marshal's Office, it's still an open case. Keep in mind that Frank Morris, John Anglin, and Clarence Anglin, if they did make it off, and I think all of us kind of wish they did in kind of a way, they would be well into their 90s by now. So even if they did make it out, they're probably no longer with us. The movie's pretty good. Check it out. Let's do some birthdays, some historic birthdays. The very first woman ever to hold federal office in the United States, Jeannette Rankin, born on this date in 1880, elected to the United States Congress from Montana in 1916, and then again in 1940. She remains to this day the only woman Montana has ever elected to Congress. She voted against declaring war with Germany in World War I, and then in 1941, she voted against declaring war with Japan after the attack on Pearl Harbor. Jeannette Rankin, born in this state in 1880. The Super Bowl trophy is named after this guy, Vince Lombardi. And for good reason. He won 5 NFL championships in 7 years with the Packers. And of course, the first 2 Super Bowls. Got out of coaching, then went back to coaching, took over the Washington franchise for 1 year. Then he died at the age of 57 in 1970. Vince Lombardi, born in the state in 1913. Gene Wilder. We lost Gene. God, it's hard to believe it's been 9 years now. The producers, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Blazing Saddles. He co-wrote Young Frankenstein, which is my favorite Mel Brooks movie, and of course many others as well. The late, great Gene Wilder, born in the state in 1933. And Joe Montana has claim to the greatest quarterback of all time. He won the national championship with Notre Dame in 1977, 4 Super Bowl championships. He was the first player to win Super Bowl MVP award 3 times. And the most remarkable fact at all, in his 4 Super Bowls that he won all, he threw 122 passes in those 4 Super Bowls and never threw an interception. The Hall of Famer is 69 years old today. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. If you can get through one more day of this heat, which is today, the big cool down is coming tomorrow, and your air conditioner is not up to snuff and you need to turn it off and have it taken a look at, your first call is to Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Mike McNaughty likes to smoke the occasional cigar. Why he's going to talk about it, I don't know. And then Jamie Howell will be joining me. The Leavenworth Mountain Bike Festival returns after a lengthy hiatus. It's this weekend. Jamie, when we come back, you're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Ah, the joys of sitting in traffic, burning gas, donating your paycheck to parking enforcement. Or you could join us this June for Ride Transit Month. On Link, you ride for free, anytime, anywhere. Plus, Link's electric buses run on clean local hydropower. Thanks, Columbia River. So while you're saving some cash, you're also saving a planet. So hop on board Link for Ride Transit Month. Stress-free, wallet-friendly, eco-smart.
Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous Farmers Market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, I'm a cigar smoker, so I thought that I'd share a little cigar trivia. In the 1960s, President John F. Kennedy, remember him? He increased trade embargoes on Cuba, restricting the import of Cuban goods into the United States. However, Kennedy had told his press secretary, Pierre Salinger, to secure a large quantity of Kennedy's favorite Cuban cigars, the H. Upmann Petite Upmanns, and to do so as soon as possible. Salinger was able to obtain 1,200 of these cigars just hours before the embargo was officially signed. Hey, it must be nice to be the president and be able to do stuff the rest of us can't. So yeah, I know the current guy who's making the most and taking the most advantage of his power isn't the only one who's ever done so. Now, not that this is any excuse. This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
Oh, happy day, Wenatchee Valley. Collins Fashions is looking forward to our famous summer weather. We are fully stocked with shorts, capris, skirts, tees, and tanks. Summer dresses have all arrived in many styles and colors. Special occasion dresses are on full display, and we have something for everyone. Collins is your Brighton headquarters with jewelry, handbags, charms, and sunglasses. We invite you to visit Collins, where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
Central Washington Water understands the power of healing waters. If part of your wellness routine includes hot heat from a sauna, Central Washington Water now carries indoor and outdoor infrared and hot rock saunas by Tilo. Research shows there are many health benefits to a cold plunge after a good workout or relaxing time in your sauna. Harness the power of water in a hot spring spa, plug-and-play spas, a Tilo sauna, or a cold plunge tub. Stop by Central Washington Water, your wellness experts.
It's the NCWLIFE Community Calendar, a presentation of Apple Valley Honda. The 2025 Wenatchee Pride Festival will be held on Saturday, June 21st at Memorial Park. It's an all-day party and everyone is invited to celebrate equality and inclusivity. There'll be lots of vendors with items for sale and swag, food booths galore, live performances, a youth activity area, and the return of the ever-popular Queer Garden. More information is available at wenatcheepride.org. Welcome back to the program. Your weekend plans have just been made by tuning into this very show, because you're going to be heading up to the Bavarian village of Leavenworth Friday night for some partying and then bike racing on Saturday and Sunday. It is back after a little hiatus, rebranded. For me, the best part is beer garden. And if there's a beer garden and a party, Jamie Howell is going to be a part of it. He is in charge. He is the festival director of the Leavenworth Bike Fest 2025. Hello, my friend.
Hello, how you doing this morning?
Good to see you.
Looking good.
Thank you. He pays attention. First of all, Ace Bollinger was going to join us. Ace is busy. He's the race director.
That's right. Yeah, this would not happen without a race director, because there's a lot to setting up courses for mountain bike racing and gravel racing now as well. So he's out there actually getting signs for the roads and the courses right now.
So this festival was around for a while, and then it kind of talk about the history and why it went away for a while, and now it's back bigger and better than ever.
Well,
talk about that.
It used to run every year as Bavarian Bike and Brews, and it was a mountain bike race. It ran out of the Gibbs Ranch up there, and they biked Front Canyon. People loved it. A lot of music and beer and biking. It was a ton of fun. Like so many things, it went away during COVID. Actually, I last ran 2018. Didn't run 2019 for some reason, but they were going to run it 2020 and got shut down, just like so many of us. And so it hasn't run since then. And then the idea came up to, let's bring it back, but we kind of came up with a Bike and Brews 2.0 concept. So now it's bigger. It's a Leavenworth Bike Fest. So Bike and Brews is still there as the mountain bike race. Bike and Juice is still there as the kids mountain bike race, but we've added Schotterfest, which is the gravel race. That actually means gravel party in German. So I'm sure.
Is this bringing in some top flight talent, cyclists, pros, the good ones?
We're going to see some real pros this weekend, because fortunately all these courses were designed by Cole Patton, who grew up right in Kashmir, son of the Patton family, Arlberg Sports.
He knows the route.
He knows. Yeah, he grew up training on these trails. So he designed all the courses, and he's also bringing some pretty competitive riders out here to race with him. I'm not sure why, because he could just take home the money himself, but he's not. There's some really top level riders coming out to do these races, and it'll be impressive. This will be the first time a race course has gone down ribbed, which is one of the trails up on the mountain bike network up there at Ski Hill, and the gravel course is brand new. Nobody's ever done it.
Talk about the gravel courses. I mean, a lot of outdoor enthusiast bikers love the gravel courses. There's special bikes, big fat tires, different kind of a setup. You decided to bring that in.
It's the fastest growing sector in cycle racing right now, and so that's what Cole does primarily. He's a gravel racer, and these are long races. I mean, there's 3 distances for all the races. So there's kind of an easy, an intermediate, and a hard. Right? We actually called schooner, pounder, and growler appropriately. So the growler course is about 76 miles with about 9,000 feet of climb.
And that's the course that's on the gravel.
That's the gravel course.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is up and around these mountains here. It'll be a lot of hard work, but that's what they come to do.
So are you going to have spotters scattered around that 76-mile course just to make sure everybody's staying hydrated and okay, and
there's
flat tires and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, there's feed zones and aid stations. And you know, there lots of signage. You know, that's what they're doing today. It's like making sure all those courses are marked, and yeah, but it's all set up. It's ready for them to give it a try.
So for those folks who just want to watch racing, raising my hand, all the races except one begins and ends at the Leavenworth Ski Hill in that whole party area.
That's right. There'll be a big start-finish line right there in the basin at Ski Hill. We'll have a big stage, so we'll be announcing the races and live music all 3 days. Well, Sunday there'll be a DJ in the afternoon, giving awards off that stage as well. So there's a lot of. We've actually put together a $24,000 prize purse that these pros are racing for.
Where's that money coming from?
Well, we've been raising it. And sponsors, great sponsors, like Giant Bicycles come in to sponsor, the gravel race. That's who Cole Patton actually rides for them on their pro team. And we've got Kraft is sponsoring
your company.
Your
company.
My company's there. Yeah, we'll be
Bicycle Brewing, a big part of it.
That's their Finish Line Beer Garden. Exactly. So a lot of community partnership to make this thing happen. As you know, the first year of any event is kind of the even though this is a rebrand of an existing event. It's a first-year build, really, for all this. So that's the hardest year. There's a lot of moving parts, but it's coming together because of all these people.
Friday night is the party, and by that I mean beer garden, registration, general frivolity. That's Friday night.
That's exactly right. Kind of warm up, come check out the area. We've got young Cade Gatons playing some acoustic guitar there, and then we've got Gavin McLaughlin playing music as a duo. Beer garden will be open, and people will be picking up their packets and checking the place out. That's from 5 to 9 on Friday.
And then all day Saturday.
Racing starts in earnest on Saturday. So
does Ernest know about this?
Don't have to call me Shirley.
I want to focus on a couple of races specifically. The kids race is back. There's two things about this kids race I want to mention. Yep. It's just $35, and your kid can register. There's two age divisions, 8 and 9, and then 10.
Yeah, U10 and U14.
U10
so
and U14.
Basically 8 years old to 14 years old for the kids.
So the younger kids do 1 lap, and the older kids do 2 laps.
Exactly.
Okay.
And there's boys and girls divisions, and so and prizes. They'll get medals on stage when they win, and it should be a lot of fun.
Where did you come up with the free back helmets? I mean, where are those coming from?
That's been a piece of what Wenatchee Valley Velo has done with Tour de Bloom for many years already. So we're fortunate that Weinstein Beverage helped fund all the helmets. We're giving away 450 free helmets to kids at this event. So that's Sunday from 11 to 2. They can literally just show up and there'll be a free bike helmet for the kids.
Can you register? It's $35 for the kids. Can you register on site, or do you need to go to the website and get registered in advance?
Preferably on the website. It's a little bit more expensive if you do day of. So best plan is to do it right now online.
Okay, and the kids have a ball.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see those kids race. Yeah.
Do you think sometimes that the kids who do the kid race, you planting that seed that said, this is fun, I like competing, but I like and I want to maybe do this when I get to an older age?
That is absolutely the goal, right? We want to encourage kids to get out and be active, and we have these incredible mountain biking facilities available to us here in the Northwest and right here in Leavenworth. So to get those kids out and riding and then watch the pros do their thing, right afterwards, and it's pretty inspiring actually even for guys like you and me. But for the kids, they've got a shot at it.
That's Jamie's way of saying "oh fart" is what that is. As I mentioned before, all the races, with one exception, begin and end at the Leavenworth Ski Hill. So if you just want to come and watch them go, and then sit back and drink a cold one, listen to some music, the weather is going to be perfect. This weekend. Then that's all the activity is at the Leavenworth Ski Hill, right in that hub there. There's one exception, and that's the big road race, and that's up in Plain.
So if you know Colin Brine from Ted Driven, they are coordinating the Alpen Tour de Flus, which is road rides, not a race, but literally a metric century ride. So that's about 62 miles, so 100 kilometers.
All of it on pavement.
Yeah. So it's road riding along these gorgeous river routes. It starts at Plain Cellars and ends at Plain Cellars. So, and there are 2 distances of that, and the same with all the races. There are multiple distances. So there are the pro distances, and And then there's some easier distances for those of us who just want to get out there and ride or compete at a lower level.
And for the first time, the road race out in Plain, you're actually going to do both sides of Lake Wenatchee. You're going to go up the South Shore as well, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
about 3/4 of the way up there before you turn around.
Well, Colin does a great job with putting these courses together, so I'm excited to see how that goes as well.
So
yeah, like I said, you could come out. Do you ride a mountain bike? I mean, there's a short course. You could come out and get on it. I mean, why not give it a try?
Is there a driving leg? Can I do a driving thing? Does that?
Or maybe you just come out and hang out with me in the beer garden.
How many hours have you and Ace put into this thing? I mean, I know Ace is in charge of the racing, and you're in charge of everything else, which in and of itself is a massive time consumer. No volunteers and no people.
Tons of volunteers.
Yeah.
Tons of volunteers will be helping make this happen. I mean, the beer garden staffed by volunteers. The course is staffed by volunteers. I mean, there's got to be course marshals and people driving motorcycles and medical personnel, and they're all volunteering. So it takes a massive community effort to get this thing together.
I was going to ask Ace, but he couldn't be here. Ace, of course, is the race director for the Tour de Bloom, the Apple Blossom event. Wow. Again, I mean, this is starting to get up to the Grand Parade level of excitement and bringing people in from all over north central Washington. You got the parade, you got the carnival, you got all three parades, and the food fair and the entertainment. But now people are coming out of their way to come during the second weekend of the Apple Blossom Festival just for Tour de Bloom.
That's right. Tour de Bloom has become the second largest stage race in North America, and only the second UCI sanctioned race in North America. It really is incredibly successful, and it's because of that team and their experience and knowledge in bike racing and putting on bike events that I'm comfortable doing this race in Leavenworth, because we've got all those people to rely on, right? Who really know how to put together a course and keep it safe, which is critical, right?
What's it like working with people who know what they're doing?
It's nice for a change.
Is it pretty cool?
Now I'm making somebody mad. I'm here with you this morning. Right?
No, yeah, really. Everything we're talking about is LeavenworthBikeFest.com. LeavenworthBikeFest.com. It's a great site because Jamie put it together. It's got everything you need to know, prices and everything like that. Beer garden's only $20. That gets you a token too, right?
In fact, the beer garden's free. There's a $20 fast pass that'll get you around the lines.
Right.
But yeah, you can just come on in and grab a beer. And it all supports trails and trail building at Leavenworth Ski Hill.
Kudos to Icicle Brewing, by the way. I need to mention that. Their Dirty Face Ale is so good. It's my favorite beer. I wish I made more money so I could afford it, but I really like that beer.
They keep making some incredible beers up there. I'm still, every time I go up there, I'm still a Bootjack fan. The OG Bootjack IPA is my favorite. But they've come out with some incredible stuff. I had a purple beer up there the other day that you should really try. It's like a milkshake IPA.
I saw that at the Plaza.
Give it a try.
Okay.
It's pretty incredible.
Okay.
They're going to have 8 different beers on tap in the beer garden for us this year. So I'm pretty excited about that. And they've been huge supporters of the event too.
Again, it's all at LeavenworthBikeFest.com. It's Friday night is the party. Check in and all that good stuff. Racing all day Saturday, racing Sunday morning till about early Sunday afternoon, and they hand out all the prizes so everybody can get going and get to where they need to go. So it's all timed out really well.
That's right. We'll have awards around 2:33 on Sunday, and that's the big gravel race day. So we're excited to see who wins that as well. And there's a king of the fest and a queen of the fest that the pros are going for. So the one who wins the fastest times in gravel and mountain biking gets the queen or the king of the fest.
Which consists of what? What do they get?
Well, they get a lovely giant mug, a wooden stein. It's pretty cool.
Cool. Any Howl at the Moon stuff while I have you here? Any projects you can talk about?
Well, this is one of them. I count this as a Howl at the Moon project. We'll be up there, shooting video and taking pictures, for next year, so we can promote this properly. And we've got a lot of work still up in Leavenworth. We're launching a really exciting 360 tour of Leavenworth in the next month or so. So that's a big one. It's keeping me really busy outside of Bike Fest.
When that rolls out, can you come back and do the show?
I would love to.
I'd love to, because you've been talking about this with me for a couple of months now, and
and we've been working on it for a couple of years. So
it really piques my curiosity. I can't wait to see that.
With you. Yeah.
So this is cool, groundbreaking stuff.
Yeah, it's new. It's something very new. So
really. Before you go, can you do me a favor? Can you autograph this for me?
Oh, well, sure.
That would be great. That's Pedal Driven, the movie from 2011.
I haven't seen this in a while.
Yeah, can you Dan, you're a wonderful human being. I owe my career to you. Something along those lines.
For me to write all the, my kind thoughts here.
Yeah, we don't have to. This is an hour-long show, Jamie, and people are already beginning to tune out. Dan, you're Hoot. Okay. Nathan, that's good. Cool. Thank you very much.
We're going to have to do that with a different pen.
I actually watched this again the other day. It is if you've never seen Pedal Driven, by the way, it's well worth it. It won awards, and not because somebody wrote them a check.
As it turns out, these courses are going on some of the trails that were legalized as a result of the work that was done during that documentary.
Jamie Howell from Howell at the Moon Productions. Again, the Leavenworth Bike Fest is this weekend. Party Friday night, racing Saturday, racing Sunday. Oh, one more question before I forget. Ski Hill, only about 100 parking spots. You don't want to park on the neighborhood roads.
That's right. You can park on the west side.
Parking real quick.
West side, thank you. West side of Titus Road you can park on, but you don't want people parking on Ski Hill Drive. We do have overflow parking at Alpine Elementary and Icicle River Middle School.
There you
available.
go.
So those are the spots to look for.
And the weather's going to be perfect. Jamie, good to see you, my friend.
Absolutely.
Say hi to Ace for me, all right?
I will. We hope to see you up there.
Absolutely. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Hey there, folks. Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to experience Blueberry Hills. Of course, the food is fabulous, like our cheese splints, our famous French dip, our legendary Eggs Benedict, and unforgettable burgers. But we're more than just great food. People come from all over the world to experience what's been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Welcome to Mountain Chick Floral, your go-to flower and plant shop in downtown Wenatchee. Explore their wide variety of unusual and fun plants. And when you buy a plant in a container, they'll pot it up for you absolutely free. Birthday or weddings, they'll create the perfect floral arrangement for you. Brighten up your office with fresh blooms delivered to your door or business. Ask about floral subscriptions. Visit Mountain Chick Floral today, where every occasion is a reason to celebrate with flowers.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
The warm-up has begun. It was 70 degrees when this show started. It's 73 now. One more day that we can, I think, safely call hot. And that would be today. If you just joined us, we tied a record high on Tuesday. We got up to 96 degrees, which tied the record high that was set back in 2015. If you remember, 10 years ago, we had a pretty significant heat wave in early June, and we set all kinds of record highs. Almost all of the record highs that over the last 4 or 5 days were set during that heat wave 10 years ago. That included yesterday, when we tied a record high of 96. Ephrata set a new record high. They didn't tie anything. It was all new, 98 in Ephrata yesterday. It was a very warm day, but finally some relief in sight. Unfortunately, we still have one more day of pretty hot weather, and a red flag warning will go into effect at 2 o'clock this afternoon, goes until 8 o'clock tonight, because the recipe, the 3 things that need to happen for a red flag warning are out there. Warm air, very dry air, relative humidity very bone dry right now. Relative humidity in the Wenatchee Valley is at 33%, and this is about as high as it gets. It's going to go down to about 20 or even 18% by the early part of the afternoon. So low relative humidity, hot temperatures, and strong winds. It's going to be windy. I think we have a couple of slides to show for you about winds today. First of all, these are all your high temperatures. Yesterday, again, Wenatchee tied a record high. Ephrata set a record high. Moses Lake had 97, Chelan 91. A little more comfortable in Leavenworth. They got to 86 degrees. Here's the wind situation today. Pick out where you live and the timeline. It's just about 8 o'clock, and wouldn't you know it, the winds are out of the northwest at about 13 miles an hour, so they nailed that. It'll die down a little bit in the early afternoon hours, and then it picks right up again. It's going to be very windy tonight. Sustained winds of over 20 miles an hour. This is wind gusts, by the way, not sustained winds. As you can see, it's going to be quite breezy tonight, which is why we have a red flag warning. It's going to be a little breezy on Thursday as well, but things are going to cool down from the National Weather Service. One more day of the 90s, about 92 today. Clouds this morning, sunshine this afternoon, wind all day, and pretty good winds later on tonight. Cloudy tonight, Overnight low of about 62, but the clouds will be gone by sunrise tomorrow by about 5 a.m. on Thursday. Still a little windy with a high of 83. We'll have a push of marine air coming in, and the ridge of high pressure that's been influencing our weather for the last 6 or 7 days will be gone by this time tomorrow. And then pretty nice. Friday, sunshine about 80. Saturday, sunshine, light breeze about 80. Sunday, sunshine, light breeze about 80. Now that's the kind of weather I can handle. All right, that's it for us. Have a good and safe Wednesday. Start your Thursday with us tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye.